There's a problem that so many businesses face, maybe even yours. It's like a black hole that opens up every single day and just swallows hours of productivity. Today, we're going to look at how one company used some seriously smart automation from ZAPTEST to close that black hole for good, without ripping out their entire system to do it.
Does this feel a little too familiar? That slow, repetitive, soul-crushing grind of manual data entry? For one manufacturing company, this wasn't just some minor annoyance, it was a massive bottleneck that was gumming up their entire operation.
So let's call it what it is, the 4-hour problem. Every single day, without fail, their supply chain team got completely bogged down, just manually updating their critical ERP systems.
And no, that is not an exaggeration. We're talking more than 4 hours of manual work every single day. I mean, think about that. That's half a person's workday just gone, wiped out by one mind-numbing task.
And this wasn't just about wasted time. The manual work created this awful domino effect. You had frequent data entry errors, which meant their inventory accuracy dropped to around 80%. That in turn led to delayed production planning and honestly, just chaos across the entire supply chain.
So how do you even begin to fix a problem like that? Well, this is where our story's hero comes in, ZAPTEST. And their tool of choice was something called Robotic Process Automation, or RPA for short.
Now, the really brilliant part was ZAPTEST's philosophy. They didn't come in and say, you need to tear down everything and buy a whole new expensive system. Nope. Their whole approach was to automate the process they already had, just making it faster, smarter, and way more reliable.
So, how did they actually do it? Well, it was a pretty slick 4-step process using the ZAPTEST platform. First, Rec Studio literally just recorded the exact clicks and keystrokes of the person doing the job. Then, Plan Studio turned that recording into smart, reusable automation scripts. The really cool part is step 3, Zoe, their AI and computer vision tool. It lets the bot see and interact with the screen just like a human would. And finally, Run Studio unleashed these scripts across a bunch of machines all at once to get the job done super fast. It's a really elegant solution.
Okay, so what happened after all that? Well, the results were nothing short of astonishing. They took hours of frustrating, error-prone work and just crunched it down into a few minutes of smooth, seamless automation. Let's just look at the scoreboard here. Daily update time? It plummeted from over 4 hours to less than 20 minutes. Those frequent data entry errors? Completely gone. Wiped out. Inventory accuracy shot up from a shaky 80% to over 95%. And stock visibility went from, I think we have it, to perfectly real time. I mean, that's a total transformation. This chart really says it all, doesn't it? That giant mountain of manual work on the left was just crushed down to that tiny little sliver on the right, all thanks to ZAPTEST's automation. A total game changer.
But here's the thing that's so important to understand. It isn't just about speed. The real magic happens when you combine that speed with accuracy. By taking human error out of the equation, ZAPTEST's automation gave the company data they could finally truly trust.
And what does all of this mean for the bottom line? A return on investment of up to 10 times. Yeah, 10x. By freeing up their team and finally getting their data right, the company saw a huge financial win.
Now, this whole story is a fantastic example of a much bigger idea that's happening right now, the shift to what we call hyper-automation. It's this idea of using a whole toolkit, RPA, AI, machine learning, to automate as many business processes as you possibly can.
And there's this quote from the case study that just nails the ultimate goal. It's not about fixing just one little process. It's about transforming them into data-driven ecosystems. Basically, turning chaotic operations into intelligent, responsive systems that just work.
So why should you care about any of this? Because at its heart, this is about empowering your people. When you strip away all that boring manual drudgery, you free up your teams to focus on what humans do best, using accurate, real-time information to make smarter, faster decisions that move the business forward.
So, we'll leave you with this question. Every single organization has its own 4-hour problem, that one bottleneck that just sucks up time and creates mistakes. After seeing this, what's yours? And what could you and your team accomplish if you could just make it disappear?